on Real Talk with Gene Price.
How many of you have a song that means something? Maybe it's tied to a specific memory or a specific person. Maybe it gives you the urge to dance or makes you tear up when you listen to it. If you can think of a song like that, raise your hand. Now look around you, because that's pretty much all of us. As a musician and avid music listener, there were many times when music seemed a little deeper, when it seemed a little bit more than just music. For most of us, we use music to reflect our circumstances. Driving with friends on a sunny day, we want to listen to something fast and upbeat. Lying in bed at night thinking of old memories, we want to listen to sad songs. We choose music that empathizes with how we feel, and that's what we can use. That is the humanizing power of music. It's what links the patient with Alzheimer's to the individual recovering from stroke, to you and to me. Music is a means of connection to our own emotions, whatever they may be, and to the people we love.
Guess who's back? That's right, it's Gene Price. It's her new fall season, and she's ready with more real conversations with real people. So make sure to tune in this Wednesday to welcome back our host, Gene Price, on Real Talk with Gene Price.
Good evening. Thank you for joining me tonight on Real Talk. I am so glad that you tuned in. We have a wonderful show that's going to be going forth tonight. You don't want to miss it. But in the meantime, I just want to say I want to thank you, everyone that follow us every Wednesday at 6:30, that tune in, that join us. Just your support alone has been amazing. And, we have some wonderful things that we always have in store. But, tonight is a very interesting topic. And I have to make myself laugh because I often say to my daughter who sings, you got to be glad that I can't sing. Because I love music, I love worship, I love praise. If I could sing, I would never stop singing. So it is such an honor and a privilege to be able to talk tonight in regards to such a wonderful topic. And listen, you have time to chat, you have time to comment, you have time to like. We are featured on Facebook, we're featured on YouTube. We want you to share in everything that we have done. We have a wonderful guest with us tonight who knows the whole thing of the genre, the understanding, what music is. And when you feel that opportunity, you just put on a good song, a good worship song. Listen, I will just go in with Chandler Moore or somebody like that. But I'm so excited about tonight's show. Again, I want you to go and tell people we are talking about the power of music and what it does. Music has a way of affecting you positively, of course, and negatively. But I'm just so grateful to God that I love worship again and I love praise because that's what I love to hear. But God is so faithful and we love what we're going to talk about tonight. So I want to welcome tonight. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest. And let me just say this before we continue. The holiday season is coming up and we always plan something special. You want to keep tuning into Real Talk because even 2022, we have some wonderful things that we're going to be talking about. Real issues, real people, real life stories that never know. You might be featured on Real Talk with Gene Price. So, you got to keep tuning in. Every time we come up with something, we want you to know that we appreciate your support and always appreciate you tuning in. And we want to we hope everybody had a beautiful Thanksgiving. It was such a wonderful time with my family, my daughters and my in-laws, everybody. I'm just so grateful. So tonight it is my honor and a privilege to welcome our guest. She knows what she's talking about when it comes to music. So I want you to go and get your worship leaders, get your praise team leaders. We want to talk about this. We want to talk about how do people get into music? How does music not just God giving you as a gift and a passion, but how do you go forth and start to bring that to pass? And how do you allow it to become a part of your life? And, oftentimes I listen to my daughter and what she does in the studio, and I have a nephew that's in the studio, and I see some of the things that they do. And when they're done, the creativity that comes about is absolutely amazing. It's amazing to see how you could take something that God has given you and turn it into something that blesses a multitude of people. And that's what I think about music. That's the feeling that I get when it comes to music. My husband's a singer, my daughters sing. Again, I tell you, I can't sing. I can worship, but I can't sing. I'll usher in the presence of God for sure, but I can't sing. But God is just so, so, so amazing. And my guest tonight is going to come in and she's going to talk about where she got started. How did she start playing and making music? She's going to share with us the ins and outs. Now, listen, I remember talking to somebody years ago and asking him about music before my guest comes on. And I remember her saying that it's not only just to have music, but you need to have something else to fall back on. I never understood what she meant by that. But now as time goes on, some people in the music industry, it's a tough industry from what I understand, but you always have to have, I guess, that other piece. So for those that are out there, listen, we're praying for you. We're believing, God, that your gifts and your talents would just take off and it'll be everything that you wanted it to be. My grandson at 3 years old started playing the drums and we were so amazed with his talent. And he was playing a song. There is a video, and maybe one day I'll get my team to play this video of my grandson, Derek Felician, playing the drums. You don't want to miss it. But guess what? My guest is here. She's going to talk about what it's like, the power of music. Help me welcome to Real Talk with Jean Price, Courtney Rumble. Courtney, welcome to Real Talk. Thank you for joining us. This week on Real Talk with Jean Price.
How many of you have a song that means something? Maybe it's tied to a specific memory or a specific person. Maybe it gives you the urge to dance or makes you tear up when you listen to it. If you can think of a song like that, raise your hand. Now look around you, because that's pretty much all of us. As a musician and avid music listener, there were many times when music seemed a little deeper, when it seemed a little bit more than just music. For most of us, we use music to reflect our circumstances. Driving with friends on a sunny day, we want to listen to something fast and upbeat. Lying in bed at night thinking of old memories, we want to listen to sad songs. We choose music that empathizes with how we feel, and that's what we can use. That is the humanizing power of music. It's what links the patient with Alzheimer's to the individual recovering from stroke, to you and to me. Music is a means of connection to our own emotions, whatever they may be, and to the people we love.
Hi, Courtney. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Whew, we was having a little bit of problems on my end.
It's
So
okay.
I said, Zamar, please install it. I'm well. How are you? It's such an honor to be here.
It's an
Wow.
honor to have you. Oh my goodness, and I was saying before you came on, and for those that are listening, they know me and my family knows. People ought to be glad that I can't sing. I'm telling you, because I love music, I love worship, I love praise, and I just love everything about it. I'm just like gifted in that area. So, Courtney, why don't you tell my viewing audience, tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, everybody. So my birth name is Courtney Rumble, but everyone knows me as C or Courtney Marie. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. I do have Caribbean parents. So I've been, throughout the years, I go back and forth to the Caribbean, Jamaica, to celebrate with family there. Um, I guess I am, I don't really know how to describe myself. When people ask me, it's because I wear so many hats. I
Okay.
don't really know what is the appropriate thing to
Okay.
say. So I'll just say I am all that God has called me to be. I
Wow.
don't believe that I fulfill my purpose, but I do believe that I'm definitely walking in it. Music has been a part of my life since I was 6. I started writing when I was 6. I fell in love with all Disney movies. And then from there, being that all Disney movies, they're based off of fairy tales, fell in
Mhm.
love with fairy tales. And from there, I think I fell in love with the fact that I can create
Mm,
just at 6 years old. At 6 years old, I taught myself how to play the drums.
wow.
That's when I knew that I loved music, or I knew that there was something about music. Um, it was just something about music that just kept calling me.
Mm,
I really can't explain it because, all gifts comes from the above. We don't know
Right.
why the gift was given to us. Gifts come without repentance. So we're all equally gifted. And, at 6, I started telling my own stories. I bought multiple diaries. Well, I didn't buy my mom. Every Christmas, I used to ask my mom to buy me a diary or a journal at the time. And in it, I just used to create my own stories. I used to tell um, fairy tales or make up fairy tales and recreate the beginning and the ending, you know. And growing up in church, my grandfather, Bishop Sylvester Rumble,
Wow.
he's a bishop. Thank God he's still alive. But that's also where my journey began, with music and just God and church. And so church is definitely my foundation. And I mean, I am 30. How old am I? I'm 32. I'm 32. I'm 32. And since a child, it followed me. So I am a singer, a songwriter, a worship leader.
Wow.
I am now a business owner. Um,
Okay.
I am also a preschool assistant teacher. I sub. Um, yeah, I'm a creator. I, I, I do so many things. So I mean, that's pretty much who I am.
You said so many wonderful things, and wow, your hat is full, but it's great things. I want to go back to being
Yeah.
the songwriter. I am
Mhm,
so inspired by people that write. I love to
mhm.
write. Of course, I don't put them into songs because I can't sing it anyway. But I'm so inspired by that. Like when you sit down or whatever, wherever you are, and you begin to write. What kind of like? How do you begin it? How do you begin the process? And then when you see the end result of what you wrote, how does that make you feel?
So I often tell everyone who asks that same question, there's no right way to write.
Okay.
So there's no right way to begin, or there's no right way. There's no, I don't think anyone has like a correct or accurate format when they're writing. Um, with songs, I can get the ending first.
Oh,
Sometimes when I'm driving, I can get inspired by the sun or just my
mm,
environment, and then a lyric will come out. It'll pop up, and I'll journal it in. Or most times I'm outside and I don't want to sing crazy, even though I still sing crazy, because I always end up like, singing it in the phone. And you know what I mean? Not all the time I have my ear pods in, so it often looks like I'm talking to myself when I'm humming the lyrics over and over again. So most times that's how I get it, or in the shower, the Holy Spirit speaks to me. So again, there's no proper format as to how to write. I
right.
just my advice is, whatever you feel, whatever it is that goes on, write
Mhm.
it down. Even
Right.
if you think it's not qualified, or if it's not good enough, just write that song down.
Absolutely.
Write it on paper, or it is, even if it's not a song, write the thought down,
Right.
because everything starts with a thought. I
Right.
can.
That's
I
it.
can do this,
Yeah.
you know.
That
Wow,
is.
I want to be this. A
Mhm.
simple thought. And you write that thought down. And every single day you rehearse that thought, or you
Mm.
read the thought that you write on paper. Because once you start to say it, it starts to manifest
Yes.
slowly,
Yes.
slowly but surely, you know. And so anyway, so that's basically what I've been doing since I can recall.
Wow.
That's how I get my words or my thoughts or the lyrics, and once it all comes together, boy, it's it's magical. I remember, just not really a testimony, but a quick backstory. When I found out I was nominated for a Grammy with Shirley Caesar,
Wow.
I um I was I was walking to work. Yeah, I just had got off the train, and I was walking to work. And I think the hardest part, with us believers, is
Uh,
the waiting process of the
yes.
manifestation of
Mhm.
God's promise,
Right.
you know. So I wrote the song of Stanley Brown, in 2013.
Mhm.
2013, 2016 is when I received the call that Shirley Caesar had recorded it. Well, she had already recorded it, but
Okay.
in 2016 is when I found out that she loved the record, and okay, well, this is a sure thing, it's going to go on her album. And so that waiting process between 2013 and 2016, imagine everything that was going through
Right.
my mind.
So,
We're believers, but we're still fragile.
right.
Sometimes there's thoughts of doubt, and oh, I'm not good enough, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, what happened to that song that would, what, dang, maybe it was a waste of time.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So that waiting process, now when I look back, thank you, Holy Spirit, that scripture, it was good that I was afflicted.
Conflicted. Come on.
It was good
You
because
learn, right?
that waiting process, not
Yes.
only did it
Yes.
strengthen me, but I learned so much in that waiting process,
Mhm.
those 3 years. Now when I think back, 2013, if everything had happened, then I don't even think I was ready. I don't
Now,
think I was ready.
I got to say something. That was so powerful because when you said that script, powerful. You're on the other side of it now. You're on the
Right.
other side. And of course, we're talking about that waiting period. And I'm so grateful that your transparency is encouraging somebody because you're talking about people that are waiting for that song to hit. You wrote those words in that waiting process. Were there times of the doubt that you had? What did you do with your emotions? And what did you do with and also what did you do with your faith though? Because I know you're on the other side, but during
Mhm.
that process, where was your faith? How did you balance it?
Well, it really, it withered a little bit. I have to be human. It
Yes.
it did wither. The thoughts of doubt did seep in. I did believe that it was a waste of time. Countless of hours in the studio,
Wow.
writing, and you begin to think of all those promises, and you're like, oh man, this was another broken promise. So you begin to kind of feel like maybe you failed. You know,
Got it.
you
Yeah.
begin to feel like I've failed.
Right. Right.
And it's so funny how God works, because I'm going to get back to this, but I'm in a waiting process right now.
Okay.
And I have to remind myself of the promises of God,
Mhm.
because there are still new times now, whereas I feel like I failed
Wow. Okay.
even after these accomplishments. And that's why it's so important to remind yourself of the promises of God, and not
Mm,
only the promises, remind yourself of the things that He's done and He's still
that's right.
doing. God promised you, and His promise was yet still fulfilled. You
Mm-hmm.
know, He promised me then, and in 2016, you did take me there. I just had to wait. You know what I mean? So even back then, in that period, yes, my faith withered, and I did write a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a private person in general. I don't really do the whole talking thing or calling, to vent. I write. That's my
Right.
outlet. I write. I do have a trustworthy tribe
Good.
now in my I won't say old age, but my mature age.
Right.
So I do have a trustworthy tribe where, maybe at those times I did reach out for prayer, or, to help me get back to that place in God. But I will be transparent again. It was very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard, very, very hard. It's, reading the word and understanding it for yourself is so much easier said than done, because though the word is there, and us as believers, we know God's word doesn't fail. And you
That's right.
still have that
Right.
human side of you that's still just like, well, the enemy see, you let the enemy
Right.
seep in your mind and just, play with your emotions. And, so again, during that time, I was all over the place, but thank God for, music,
Yeah.
gospel music. That was definitely an outlet for me, and my pen. I picked up my pen and I just wrote, and I just began to encourage myself. Yes, it didn't happen yet, but it is going to happen. God is
That's
not a man that He should lie.
And
You, you
that's why
know,
I wanted you to be and that's why your transparency is so powerful because I'm telling you, somebody listening to this show, I'm telling
mhm,
you, Courtney, they're going to play it back. And to hear you be so real about people that are in the exact same, I know somebody that's in the exact same position. And I didn't ask the question because of the person. It really, I just wanted to know, but you
mhm,
have blessed those of us that are listening because your transparency shows us that you're human, I mean, the
Yeah,
talks
I
about
love
your
it.
faith, talks about what it's like to wait, talked about, oh my goodness, am I going to make it? Those are real things. It doesn't mean that you didn't turn away from God. It just meant that you're just being tested and you're in the process. And that's why I appreciate that. And I have a question for you. We know we
Yep.
see music today, right? And
Mhm.
of course, I'm in my 50s, and we had the hymnals, which I still like the hymnals. I love praise music, but everything is worship, a lot of worship. A lot of things are like worship, at least from what I listen to. What is your take on as far as like the I guess what am I trying to say? And I love Maverick City, but a lot of music is geared toward worship. It's geared toward, like I was watching the Dove Awards, and oh my goodness, elevation worship, those songs,
Mhm.
it's so different than before, which I absolutely love. What is your take on that though? I'm curious.
On worship music or
Yeah, because it's no right or wrong answer. I guess what I'm saying is because when I was, I've been saved since I was 16, and we did the hymnals, we did, praise and worship, that a different kind of praise and worship, but a lot of things are geared toward more the worship, the Maverick City type thing, the elevation type music. What's your take on it as far as do you what's your take on it? Like, I mean, all music is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but do
Mhm.
you see that kind of worship just making like a greater impact? I guess maybe that's what I'm trying to say. All worship has impact, don't get me wrong, but it's
Yeah.
something about worship, at least in our church and what I hear, it's just something about an impact. It just sounds more intimate when I hear those kinds of songs. Maybe that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm a worshiper at heart, so I'm all for it. I think, I commend with Maverick City and the new worship teams or groups, Elevation Worship. They're a huge group right now in our time. I commend them. I think, you know, um, I definitely believe like now, the impact is it's greater. And just to piggyback off what you said, I do all worship music is great, but I think that sound is needed for this generation.
Oh,
It's just like a unrestricted,
yes,
we can worship God in jeans. Well, growing up, I couldn't wear jeans to church.
right.
We had to wear long skirts. And like now it's just who cares about what you have on? Jeans, sneakers, holes in your socks.
Mm,
Just come. Just give me Jesus.
mm,
So I believe like that style of worship and like the music now that the Maverick cities and the elevations, I think their impact is so huge because it's just so unrestricted.
mm.
It just speaks, give me Jesus.
Yes,
It
yes.
just speaks, I don't care about anything. Just give me Jesus. Let's just worship him. You know
Mm,
what I mean? And not only that, the lyrics are so relatable to, our
they are.
generation now. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So I'm all for it. I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
And let me
I
tell you,
love it.
even in our generation, it's relatable. It's so
Hmm.
relatable because life is life on whatever the age, whatever the generation. So it is so relatable. Now, in your family, is anybody else musically inclined?
Well, yeah. So my dad plays the keyboard.
Okay.
My mom, she thinks she can sing, but she sings in the shower.
All right. She's like me. It's okay. She's like me.
she she sings in the shower. My grandfather also plays the keyboard. My cousins sing. My siblings don't sing, but my cousins do sing.
Okay.
So it kind of like skipped, you know, it's a, it's a
You
it's a group
you
of
play
us
by
that do
ear?
sing.
You play by ear?
Me,
Yeah, you play by
like
ear. Like
sing my ear.
you can just
Oh,
hear something and then just play it, or
well, I don't play key. I went to key school for the keyboard,
okay.
but I did play by ear. I taught myself how to play drums, everything by ear. Even when I'm writing songs, I write without, an actual beat or an actual production. I kind of just hear it and I produce it myself in my mind, and I write it down, and I do a beatbox thing, go back to the 90s, and
Right, 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 right.
I write it down. I know what I hear. I get to the studio and I collectively put everybody together, and I'm like, this is what I hear. Play this, play this. So yes, I'm definitely an ear person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So let me ask you another, and it's so many, I love this. And listen to our viewing audience. Oh my goodness, I don't want to leave them
Mhm.
out. If you have any questions for Courtney, please put it in the chat. She's here. She's talented. She's knowledgeable when it comes to music. She's knowledgeable what it takes. And she also understands about waiting for the promises of God and how God moves. So we want you to put in the chat so Courtney can kind of chime in and, say something. But what other projects do you have going on? Anything coming up?
So coming up, I do have, I wrote a Christmas play, Christmas production for my church, the Excelling Church. My lead pastor is Jarrell K. Solomon. That is my latest coming up. Outside of that, I've just been working on my business. I do have a business. We specialize in socks. The name of my name of my brand is called Sincerely Me C. So outside of that, that is my upcoming, Before I used to be all over the place, like, so I have this coming up, and then I have this, and I have this. Now my mature age, not only am I tired and my back is starting to hurt, I can't can't really juggle so much at one time. So my focus now is this production happening on December 19th at my church.
Wow. Well, we're going to take a commercial break and we'll come back with Courtney. I want to hear some more about what you do with the socks. I want to hear about that because in the world today with people that may not have socks and different things like that, there's another sock company where they donate or people buy. So if there's a way that we can help and assist, we're going to make sure we get that information up on the screen. But we'll be right back with Courtney. You don't want to miss the power of music. We'll be right back.
This week on Real Talk with Jean Price.
How many of you have a song that means something? Maybe it's tied to a specific memory or a specific person. Maybe it gives you the urge to dance or makes you tear up when you listen to it. If you can think of a song like that, raise your hand. Now look around you, because that's pretty much all of us. As a musician and avid music listener, there were many times when music seemed a little deeper, when it seemed a little bit more than just music. For most of us, we use music to reflect our circumstances. Driving with friends on a sunny day, we want to listen to something fast and upbeat. Lying in bed at night thinking of old memories, we want to listen to sad songs. We choose music that empathizes with how we feel, and that's what we can use. That is the humanizing power of music. It's what links the patient with Alzheimer's to the individual recovering from stroke, to you and to me. Music is a means of connection to our own emotions, whatever they may be, and to the people we love.
Welcome back to Real Talk. We've been having a wonderful discussion, the power of music, and I have a wonderful guest with me tonight who's talented, who's transparent, talking about the process of understanding that power of music and what it takes. So I want to welcome back my guest tonight, Courtney Rumble. Come back to Real Talk. Thank you for being with us again.
It's such an honor to be here, seriously.
Before we went to commercial, Courtney, I was talking about what you do with the socks. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So I do have, my socks, all of my socks, okay, let's see. I'm trying to see what is a proper way to describe it. I love socks. Okay. So just a backstory before I get into it. I love socks. And early this year, I was actually on a designer's website and I was going to order some socks. Mm-hmm. So I said to myself, and this was, I wrote down a date in my journal, I believe it was the 30th of January, top of the year. And I said to myself, I said, God, I am no longer will I spend whatever amount of dollars on socks. I want to create my own. I've never it was never a thought of mine until that very moment. Right. I just said, I want to create my own socks. I want to create my own stockings. I'm a lover of anything fall. So hats, scarves, socks, stockings. I love coats, jackets. So I said, okay, you know what, God, I made the decision right then. So I didn't go, I didn't move forward with my purchase. I just went to bed and I said, you know what, I want to create my own. Mm-hmm. The next day I woke up with the same idea and it was so strong. I don't know if you ever, experience something like that when you have an idea, a creative moment, and it's so strong on you. It's the 31st. I said, okay, so I'm gonna do this, God. Well, what should I name it? So started watching a few commercials. It was wee hours in the morning. This commercial came on, this perfume. I think it was one of Sean what is his name? Well, Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy Combs, one of
Mhm.
his colognes came on and stuff, and like a light bulb. I said, well, God, well, if I do this brand for real, if I start my own sock line, what's the name? What's the name? What's the name? He brought me back to Sincerely Me C. So
Okay.
I have a habit of when I'm texting or I'm writing someone that knows that they're texting me, I have a habit of signing my name at the bottom as if the person don't already know they're talking to me.
Right.
So I'm gonna write you a note. I would just, hashtag Sincerely
Mhm.
Me or love C.
Right.
And boop, I got the name. Sincerely Me C.
Oh my
Right?
goodness, those are great.
Yep.
Oh, I
Sincerely Me
love those.
C. So this was January 31st.
Mhm.
February 1st, I got my LLC.
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
applied for my LLC. I got approved immediately. Immediately, I got approved. So it was all like a divine, like this literally came from heaven because, and I didn't tell anybody until I actually launched May 14th,
Okay.
2021. So
Okay.
keep in mind, all of this happened rather quickly.
Right.
Went to sleep on the 30th, the 31st, God gave me the name. February 1st, I applied for my LLC and I got it. May 14th, 2021, I launched worldwide my brand sock line.
That's awesome.
So it was definitely, all God. So, anything that has any dealings with me, I believe in just I strongly believe that whatever your name is attached to, you go 1,000% for. Your name
Absolutely.
is, it represents who you are. So with
Ab-
my socks, I I tag sayings, affirmations. This one
Oh,
says faith walk. I'm not too sure where the
uh-huh.
camera is.
Okay,
This one
what's on
says
the
faith
bottom?
walk.
What's on the bottom of the sock?
Well, it says Sincerely Me C, my
Okay.
brand. Let me see if I can get it for you. Can you see it? Is it
That's
backwards on the
beautiful.
camera?
Yes. And I hope my viewing audience is looking at this because Christmas is this month. So you might want to get some socks because I'm going to order me
Yeah.
a couple of pairs too. Okay. I
So
like
this one, it all represents me. This one says stay gold on
Okay.
it. And what it just really means is remain pure and true to who you are. Stay
Right.
gold. Don't let anything tarnish you. As a diamond, it
Mhm.
never compromises. Diamond never compromises itself being a diamond. It's
Right.
always a diamond.
Always.
Stay gold. This one is just a music,
Okay.
so music all over. And at the toe, I design all my socks myself. At the toe,
Okay.
it says I am,
I
if
like
you can
that.
see that.
And how
Basically, I am
much are
music.
they a pair? How much are they?
So right now I have a 10% off
Okay.
on my site. But the normal I believe this one is $18 and
Okay.
these are 15.50.
Okay.
These are 15.50.
Okay.
I'm not too sure what's the number after because my site always have a lot of stuff
Okay.
going on, but I do have a sale happening. And
Okay.
we do have these. This one just represents leadership.
Mm,
So it
yes.
says lead on there,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Very nice.
So all of my socks I put it's personal. They mean something
Mm-hmm.
for me. I don't just, throw anything together. I literally sketch it. I cannot draw. God, you missed that. I cannot draw, but I try my best and I sketch it and
Mm-hmm.
I send it to my designer or my vendors and yeah, it comes out like this.
Very
So
nice. Listen, to
yeah.
the viewing audience, if you're looking, we want to, first of all, we want to support. We want to support the business for Courtney. It's a Black-owned business, number one. I'm just saying we want to support you. The holidays are coming, so it's www.sincerelymec.com. Purchase your pair. When I come offline, I'm actually going to, there's a couple of them that I saw that I want to get for some holiday gifts. I'm going to be getting some as well. Thank you for showing us that. That's
Oh,
so powerful. But I do
thank
want to go
you.
back to your music for a second.
Sure.
What was one of your favorite music projects?
My
I know you mentioned the
favorite.
one with Shirley Caesar. Anything else?
Let me see. So I've worked with a lot of indie artists. I don't know if I really have a favorite. Wow. I think I have to go back. I don't think I have a favorite at all.
Okay.
I
And
don't have
that's
a
okay.
favorite. I think I'm creators always say they're sensitive about their work. I'm
Mm,
sensitive about my work. I put 1,010% and all that I do. I don't have a favorite. I think I love all of them. I love everything, every project or every opportunity that I get to be a part of. I think it becomes my favorite
That's
because you just never know,
yeah.
and the blessings they come, and I think I'm always just soaked up in that moment. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really get to, weed them out one by one, like, oh, this is my favorite. I'm just always so humbled and appreciative to just even be there.
Right.
That to me, it kind of overwhelms me, and it erases the thought of a favorite,
Right.
if that
That's
makes sense.
beautiful. No, that
Yeah.
does make a lot of sense. If somebody wanted to get started in the career in music, what would you share with them? What would you tell them?
It starts with a thought. I can. That's your start right there. I
Mm-hmm.
can.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, no one is getting signed to labels anymore.
Oh.
It's so easy to, you know, do it your own. It's so or do it by yourself.
Mhm. Interesting.
Eventually you do need a team, but to get started, you don't need anybody. But that simple thought that says, I can,
Wow.
I'm going to,
Right. Now, why do you think
I'm
that is?
successful.
I'm sorry. Why do you think that is, Courtney? That people you don't need that whole music label? Is it because of what's going on Facebook or TikTok and all of the other types of
Yeah,
platforms?
the power of social media today is so powerful.
Okay.
People are getting signed from social media. You don't like back in the day, we
Yeah.
didn't have the Twitters, and
Hmm.
the Facebooks wasn't as powerful as it is today. So now all you can do is, all you really have to do is upload something, and all you need is one person that's the right person to
Right.
see it and just, wow. And then their power, their following, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
then like
Yeah.
this, God can make you a millionaire tomorrow.
Just like
Make it happen for me, Lord.
yes, it can.
But
Listen, you speak that by
just,
faith. That's right. That's right.
I'm a millionaire tomorrow.
Wow.
Dwayne Wade sees my socks. Whoop. Just from a picture on social media, I'm a millionaire.
Wow. Now, do you have a social media page for yourselves?
Yes, it is Sincerely Me C on Instagram and on
Mhm.
Facebook. And the website is www.sincerelymec.com.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, I know you took now. I don't know if you can talk about a lot of it, but any other projects scheduled for next year that are coming up?
So I do have a new design or a
Mhm.
new collection that's coming out, and it's called All Things Pure.
Oh, I like that.
And, that's just, again, it's a part of me. I love anything that's genuine. I'm a
Mhm.
lover of love and purity. And so that is my next for 2022. I do have a list of records that I did write this year that I would like to shop to see if any artists pick it up. So that's in the works too. I would like to um, get back into writing productions. I didn't think that I was good at it, but I just thought about it, and I just went, went along with it, step out on faith. And, so I definitely want to do more of that,
Mhm.
writing productions and eventually plays. And,
Beautiful.
eventually I see myself directing, and, I already put
Okay.
things together. I started with another brand that's called Show Love for the Arts. And what that was just a platform that I wanted to create in order to celebrate art as a whole,
Mhm.
because art is so broad.
It is.
I have so many talented friends who do different things. It was a
Mhm.
way for me to bring everybody together and have like a big party,
Oh, awesome.
celebrating all of us together. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So I I do so many different things, but this this has my heart now. My brand, it has my heart right
Wow,
now. So,
that's
but I definitely want to do more of that.
that's beautiful. Now, and I just want to go back for a second. You talked about production, and oftentimes we think of other people, and I'm just saying like the Tyler Perrys of the world and different people like that. Do you see yourself as your production really taking off? Because it would be so nice to see a beautiful Christian production put together. We can all come out and be a part of and celebrate. Um, are there any other kinds of contact that you can make to get your production out there? Because we're the kind of people in Zamar, my production team knows that we love to support what people are doing. That's just how my husband Bishop and I are. We believe in it, we support it, and we're like 100% behind it, you know. So I'm just wondering, are there any other ways that you're putting your work out there for people like us to support? Because we believe in supporting.
Well, I've done like pop-up shops. I've sent care packages, and
Nice.
right now I'm just utilizing social media and my relationships. So for now, that's where it is.
Okay.
I haven't really gotten the whole marketing thing down packed,
Okay.
but and I don't have a team right now, but it's me, and I'm trying. Faith without works is dead. I'm
Right.
making my first step,
Right. Right. Well, it's definitely been proven just by meeting you for the first time. And to my viewing audience, we can see that you are a woman of faith. I can hear the sound of it. And I think that's what's so beautiful, that I hear in your generation, a woman of faith. And I salute you for that. I salute you for that because you're a visionaire. And the Bible tells us to write the vision, right? And make it plain. And it's apparent he has given you some visions and you've been writing. You've been doing a whole lot of writing. You've been doing a whole lot of writing. And again, I salute you not just because of who you are, but because of whose you are. And to see the hand of God on you, to see the creativity, everything he's put inside of you. For me, in my generation, to see that come to pass. And that's why I said to you, we love supporting visionaries. I think, and you know what I think it is too, Courtney, because we're visionaries too, my husband and I, we have several things going on, amazing things going on. But you're right. It started with a thought. And then with a thought, by faith, God allowed us to put it into action. And that's even how Real Talk came about. And like I said, we have several things that we're doing. And if at any time that we can be of support to you, the viewing audience can be of support. Like I am going to order me some socks. When I hang up with you, I'm getting me a couple of pair of socks. We want to be there to support you and that we can push what you're doing because we believe in it. So last minute thoughts you want to say to our viewing audience before we close down?
I can't see anybody. I wish I could see. It wasn't allowing me to get on the laptop.
Okay.
Any last minute thoughts? I would just say you can do anything that you want to do. And I know it's so cliche. We've been hearing it since we was a little child, but I wrote some affirmations for my nephew to repeat or recite every single day, just so that he knows that he's strong, he's smart, he's powerful, and he's a future mogul. And anything that he wants to do, it starts with a thought. So the viewers who are on, anybody that's watching, that business that you've been sitting on, do it. That record, or the wanting to be a songwriter, singer, or anything that you want to do that you've been sitting on, do it. I promise you, it only, just as the Bible says, we just need faith as mustard seed.
Yeah.
All we need is that little seed, that thought in your mind that says, I'm going to do this. Even if you have $1 in your, and I'll just say this. Thank you, Holy Spirit. My first show that I did back in 2014, back then when I birthed Show Love for the Arts, I had $40 in my wallet. $40. But I knew that I wanted to do a show. And I knew that I wanted to incorporate all of my friends. And I knew that I wanted everyone to come together. Sorry, my nephew's in the back.
It's okay.
I wanted everybody to come together. But I had $40. And guess what? I should have, my laptop is broke. I probably would have sent, the picture, but it was a packed out show with just $40. God told me to go ahead with it. Don't worry about the budget, because when you're in the midst of planning, you experience anxiety. You don't have no money to pay all these people. You got to pay the band. You got to pay the singers. You got to pay the venue. I got everything for free, and I know that you're not going to believe me, but when I say $0.99, everything for free, because I wanted to do. I said, God, this is, come on. You didn't give me this gift for no reason. This has to happen. But please, God, please. I only have $40. Do what you can, Lord. Do what you can. And, while they always say it's not really about your gift, or, because your gift will make room, but it's your character that will keep you in that door. You know what I mean? And God is so good. I've been blessed with so many strong relationships and connections, whereas he made it so I didn't have to pay for anything, not even the venue.
That's
So
beautiful.
I didn't pay for nothing, but I went home with $1,000,
Oh,
a
I love
check.
it.
The
Awesome.
venue blessed me with $1,000 for
Right.
packing out
Right.
their venue. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You packed out my venue. All these people have never been in here like this. Here is a check for $1,000. I had $40 in my wallet. Anything that you want to do, don't wait for somebody to say yes. I've been hearing no all of my life. No all of my life. I'm now walking into my yes.
I love it.
And it's not to say that no's are still not going to come along the way, because we know that God's no isn't a no. It is more so a not yet.
You're right.
Because what we know, all things work together for the, so
Good.
all
Yeah.
of this, we know that all of it is going to work together. So we can't take that personal, because God's no is never a no. It's more so a, I got better for you. Hold
Right.
on.
Absolutely.
Anything that you want to do, do it. Do not wait for anybody. Do it. Write the thought down. Write the vision. Start reciting it. And I have one more thing to say, and I'm going to leave. Something, it impacted me so greatly. I walk with it every day, that Jim Carrey said. He said that he went to the bank and he wrote a check to himself for $1 million. And he carried it in his wallet until he actually got that check.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Manifest it. Write it down. That's my premise. Write the vision, make it plain, write it down,
That's good.
recite it, because eventually it's going to happen. The more that you speak it every single day, the more that it's this closer to manifesting.
Right.
So I went to the bank, y'all, and I wrote me a check for $2,000, and I have it in my wallet. All right, $2,000, $2,000. I have a few checks.
That's all right.
I walk and I keep it in my wallet, and with a pack of receipts, and because I know that it's going to manifest. It's going to. When I'm discouraged and I'm feeling low, guess what? I go in my wallet and I look at it. Courtney Rumble, $1.5 million. Yes,
That's it.
make it happen. Yes, Jesus.
Listen.
Write it down. Do not wait. The time is now. Look at the times that we're in. It's now. It's now. God made us a promise. He's not a man that he should lie. Every promise will be fulfilled over your life. Do it. Do it. It starts with a thought. And that's seriously the only thing in my heart that I want to encourage all of the viewers on here. Just do it.
Beautiful.
Just do it. I started a business in less than 7 months. I launched in less than 7 months. Funded by myself.
That's awesome.
God made it happen. He is a provider. Do it.
Well, Courtney, we want to thank you. Thank you for your words of affirmation. Thank you for explaining that manifestation. That was really powerful what you said about Jim Carrey. And speaking that over your life is so powerful. We want to thank you tonight for being on Real Talk. And I was looking at some of the comments. Quincy chimed in and she said, awesome. She is a business owner herself. It's so encouraging to hear you talk about just what God is doing. And again, I have to reiterate, I hear the sound of faith. I hear the sound of a woman of faith, no matter what. And you stay there, allow that to be your guide in everything that you do. So tonight, to my viewing audience, we want to thank Courtney Rumble for being on Real Talk. Support her. If they have it up on the screen, visit sincerelymec.com. Order your socks. The holiday season is here. Not just for that, but we want to support her. Look at the different styles, Faith Walk, Music Notes, Lead. We want to support her. We want to get out there and let her know how we're so proud of her accomplishment. We want to continue to pray for you and all that you do. And may God also open up that door, those prayer requests that you have before him. So tonight, to my viewing audience, we want to see you next week at the same time where we have more discussions and more Real Talk. See you then. Good night.
Good night.
This week on Real Talk with Jean Price.
How many of you have a song that means something? Maybe it's tied to a specific memory or a specific person. Maybe it gives you the urge to dance or makes you tear up when you listen to it. If you can think of a song like that, raise your hand. Now look around you, because that's pretty much all of us. As a musician and avid music listener, there were many times when music seemed a little deeper, when it seemed a little bit more than just music. For most of us, we use music to reflect our circumstances. Driving with friends on a sunny day, we want to listen to something fast and upbeat. Lying in bed at night thinking of old memories, we want to listen to sad songs. We choose music that empathizes with how we feel, and that's what we can use. That is the humanizing power of music. It's what links the patient with Alzheimer's to the individual recovering from stroke, to you and to me. Music is a means of connection to our own emotions, whatever they may be, and to the people we love.